Rough weekend series for the Yankees in the Lone Star State as the Bronx Bombers lost 3 out of 4 games to the Rangers, including a 15-2 loss in the series finale on Sunday. It's been a recent rough stretch for the Yanks. So let's discuss about some Bronx Bomber baseball with New York Post Yankees beat writer. That'll be Greg Joyce, who joins us from Texas. Greg, how you doing, man?
Good. How you doing, Dexter?
I'm doing well. Doing a little bit better than the Yankees are lately, Greg. There's been a lot going on with the team. They've lost 7 out of their last 10 games. They only scored 8 runs in 4 games against Texas. At the end of April, they're behind the Rays by at least 8.5 games. Should fans be concerned about this Yankee team right now?
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be at least a little bit right now as they're waiting for guys to get back from the injured list. It's been a rough stretch. Like you said, they're 3-7 over their last 10. They dropped 3 or 4 on this series, and they were 2-5 on the road trip overall against the Twins and Rangers. So it's definitely a rough trip. And not to mention that included an injury to Aaron Judge, another one to Jake Bowers, who just came up on Saturday. They were hoping to spark the offense. They're hoping that both of those guys can avoid the IL, but it's certainly been a rough stretch. The offense has been scuffling here for really a couple of weeks now. They've had some 1 or 2 breakouts in there, but overall it's been a rough go for the offense. So, the thing is that they hope to get Harrison Bader back maybe this weekend, but other than that, it's they don't have a ton of guys coming back in the immediate future. So they're going to have to kind of get it together with this group that they have here. So, they'll be back for 3 games at home, and then they run into the Rays, who have been, red hot like a buzzsaw to start the season. So they're going to have to do it with the guys mostly that they have in the clubhouse right now. And they're going to have to start trying to turn it around on Monday because, like you said, they finish April, or they go to May 15-14, tied for last place in the AL East. So certainly not the place they want to be.
Not the place they want to be, and you mentioned Aaron Judge, who we have to talk about because we learned earlier this week that Judge has a mild strain near the top of his hip. As of now, he has been placed on the injured list, but do you think that he will do an IL stint, and how does New York survive his absence if he goes on the IL?
Yeah, it's $1 million question right now. They've kind of kicked the can on that decision until Monday because if he does need the IL stint, they could still backdate it to Friday and keep him on the IL for the minimum amount of days. So the good news is that they don't think it's, even if he does need an IL stint, that they think it would be the minimum, it sounds like, but they're going to make that decision on Monday. He's still not doing any baseball activities. He threw today, but besides that, he's pretty much been shut down since leaving Thursday's game with the injury. So I think they're holding out hope that he can avoid the IL and in a best case scenario be back in the lineup on Tuesday or Wednesday, especially which would mean that he's in there for that series against the Rays next weekend. But with the way he plays the game, he's all out, so they're going to need to make sure he's fully ready to go because they don't want that to turn into any. They don't want to bring him back too early and then have it turn into something where he's missing a couple weeks down the road. So. If he does have to miss time, they're going to have to do it with the guys that are here. That includes Jake Bowers if he's able to get back in the lineup the next few days. Aaron Hicks has start to put together some more competitive at-bats over the last few days. He's probably going to get some more playing time if Judge is out. Oswaldo Cabrera, another guy who could be in there. So they're going to have to do it with the guys that are here.
Going to have to go with what they have and try to survive as long as they can without Aaron Judge. Now, you talked about this, Greg, 3 home games this week against the Guardians. That starts on Monday, followed by a 3-game set against the Rays in Tampa this week. So, in your eyes, is it imperative that the Yankees start May well and try to right the ship over the next 6 games? How important is this stretch coming up for the Yankees?
Yeah, it's definitely important, and it's not an easy one either with the Guardians. Who can play pretty good baseball, and obviously the Rays this weekend and next weekend in Tampa. So it's going to be a tough stretch, but they kind of got to dig themselves out of this hole a little bit, start to get the offense going again. It seemed like on Wednesday in Minnesota when they broke out for 12 runs that they thought they had some momentum going there, but obviously they won again on Thursday 4-2, but then ever since then the offense has gone right back into a shell of itself. So. They really need to get going. Obviously, having Judge back would be a big help for that. But the rotation's kind of, aside from Garrett Cole, who's been terrific, the rotation has gotten into a little bit of a rough stretch as well. So it's not just one area of the game right now that's kind of letting them down. So it's important for them to kind of get back on track this week.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do that. 7 of their next 13 games are going to be against the Rays. You heard Greg talk about how the Rays have been hot atop the division. in the AL East. We'll see how that all unfolds for the Yankees this week. Greg Joyce will be on top of everything with the Yankees. He covers them for New York Post. Greg, thank you for your time. Safe travels back to New York, and I'll talk to you soon.
You got it. Thanks, Dexter.